actually, okay? So the left-hand one here, Rob, is your previous setup, okay? Yeah. Hands are a little bit, for me, behind. That club shaft is probably nearer your back leg. You can see your left hand there a bit weak in comparison. There's a bit more logo visible there, we can see. So your left hand is in a much more, I guess, although it doesn't feel natural, it's a more natural hang for your left arm here rather than twisted, okay? So when you go into that position there and the club is kind of leaning back, you can see your hands there, say, the edge of this hand now is touching the back of your leg. There's daylight between the front leg. What we want to do is go through that process of starting our feet together. So the golf ball now is directly in line with the middle of your feet. You can still see you want the shaft more towards your middle. Now you do move it forward when I say there, okay? So that's where the shaft needs to be. So roughly speaking, what we're looking for, if I take a line from that shoulder down to the golf ball, your hands, the club shaft, your arm and everything are on that line. And this way you can do a reflection in a mirror or window or film it on your iPad or phone or whatever, and do this as a kind of a repetitive thing. So it just becomes something you do without having to think about it. At the moment, there's a little bit of, right, where am I? What am I doing? What's next? Next stage. Once you've kind of got that left side there correctly, then you can grip it. Then you set your feet up there now. And we can see now, address, if I clear all these lines out of the way. There we go. The difference in your hand position relative to your body. I mean, that club is definitely nearer your trail foot, where this one I would say is probably a little bit nearer your front. If I'm being honest, could it go a little bit further forward? Yes, but I think you're comfortable there and it doesn't feel too strange. It feels a little bit different, but it's not like, oh my God, I can't do that. To move any further would probably be initially a little bit too much. Once you've got that club stronger, and if you have the club face now, we can see, just looks a stronger position. I mean, that almost looks like trying to play a lob shot. It's the same golf club, but the difference on those two lofts now are very different. So as a result, in terms of distance, if you're using the correct loft, as this one here on the right shows, the ball now is going to go that way. If the loft is too high, it's going to go that way and then come down a lot shorter. And then, of course, when you're losing yardage, what do? As 99% of blokes had to do, you try and whack it with this joint. Exactly, So from a feeling perspective in the swing, you're taking your right shoulder, brilliant. You're turning him back behind you as much as you can and then keeping him back there for a little bit longer. So there's not much over the top. You can see your right shoulder now working down and under. Really good. Releasing through the target up onto that left side, okay? So much better movement with that right shoulder, not so much over the top, as we can see. There's always going to be a little bit over the top in your swing, but as we said to you last time, there's a window where your arms can kind of swing within. It's not going to be in a perfect dead straight line, okay? You're allowed to go a little bit in and a bit over the top. That's what creates your kind of natural fade, that you know what's going to happen, The last thing we want you to start doing is start hooking the ball 30 yards left.
I don't want to be doing that.
You'll be like, well, where's the ball going? So you know what the golf ball's going to do when it kind of starts just left of target and then just drifts back to the fairway. What we want to do is the ball flight, if we're looking down the line, would look sort of like this and just fall down there. So if there's the flag stick there and there's your golf ball, it's that little fade, We don't want a golf ball going and disappearing way to the left. Equally, we don't want a golf ball then going and weak off to the right. So we need to get that position at the setup a lot stronger, okay? We can see there now at impact, you've got a nice lead line. There's impact there. You've got your shoulder, your hand. So you've started off with the club in a good position here, Club face, shaft, everything nicely in line. And when you come back to the golf ball, you basically moved your body nicely to the left-hand side and you've returned the club back to the ball pretty much as it started. Dead square, aiming where you want to go, So it's going to take a little bit of practice going through this. I say start off with the feet together, clubbing just your left hand with the handle there, handle forward. Again, trying to point it towards that left hip or towards in that area. Left hip, left thigh, up towards your left shoulder, Once you've got that, then you can set your feet around. It just gets you in what I call that lower Y. Whereas before you looked a little bit more to me like a capital Y, But obviously the Y and the straight down the middle, we want to get that lowercase a bit more. All right? And then once you've got that, then the only real focus or more not really a swing thought, just a feeling is what this shoulder's going to do there. And that's coming much better. I think what you'll find as well when you play, the first 10 or 15 shots, you haven't quite warmed up, it's a little bit stiffer, doesn't quite get back as far, and you still want to hit it a little bit harder, so it comes over the top. Once you started warming up now towards the end of here now, that right shoulder's definitely going back more, and it's able to stay back. The longer it goes back or the further it goes back, the less likely it's going to come over the top. And secondly, as well, the more it goes back, the more power you create.
Yeah. I think what
the less need to whack it.
Tended to do, used to do, was almost try to delay it there.
Yeah.
Delay.
But we've heard that phrase when people say when they're swinging the best, the club feels like it's pausing at the top, doesn't it?
Exactly.
And that what you again feel. People when they swing a golf club, they feel what their body does. Yeah. So they feel their body slowing down. They feel their body pausing. But the club's not staying. You're not. No one really swings a club like a Hideki Matsuyama. Sort of stops as a pause for half an hour and brings it down. The club's continually moving. Yeah. But what people feel is they get here, and the shoulder kind of stays in this area. It's not moving towards the ball or moving forward. So if when you get to the top of the backswing up there now, the shoulder, so the club's still moving, then the arms start falling down, But you feel that slight pause with the shoulder. If he's not working too much, then the club can come back down in time, in a good sequence, and release the club, And that's the key thing. So getting your right shoulder to work, I guess, better and more efficiently, but that will only come when you're warmed up, loosened up, and if the back's been a little bit twingy tight the last few days, you said, and Chris, I said it's got better now recently, that's good, that's going to help you turn better, So that right shoulder's still going to be the swing thought, but setup for me now is going to be key, making sure we get into that lower Y. It would take some practice. I would, if you can do every single day with a club in your hand, just get in front of a mirror or a window somewhere, and just set up, get yourself in that lowercase Y, so it becomes what you do, Okay, buddy? Make sense?
No problem.
Excellent, good stuff.